She wants all she can get. I've been working so much this week. I told you guys that I would show you. That's 26 hours of overtime. I had 66 hours this week. That's crazy that that's exact, but I work doubles. Like 6 days. Oh no, 5 days actually. 5 days. But I have 1 day off, and that is tomorrow. And you best believe that I'm sleeping in. But I wanted to talk about something that I've been thinking about today. Specifically today. Because it's an issue that I've talked about before. But something occurred to me. I told you that I work with somebody that I think is a narcissist. And I give her the benefit of the doubt that she's borderline. But, I don't know, she acts really narky. And she got mad at me today over something dumb. And I responded the way that I always respond when people get mad at me over something dumb. I just walk away. And I don't even entertain like if somebody has an issue with me and it just doesn't make sense, and I know that like talking about it is not going to help, like I just avoid that person, because these types of people just love drama, you know? And they need that supply of people that pay attention. People that pay attention to them, people that validate them. And I read this study a while ago about narcissism and humility, and how a narcissist has a really hard time believing that other people are humble because they lack humility. And I was thinking about that, how like a lot of people don't understand like how you could believe in God, you know? But like, oh well, I don't believe in God. I don't think that he's real. I think that's all a bunch of bullshit, you know? And they have a significant problem with other people believing something. And I mean, you definitely see that with politics. And I really do believe that they just weaponize narcissism so that we would be way more divided than we already were. And now people really don't want to talk to anyone. Because it's like, what are we going to talk about, you know? I guess they'd be in the same situation as me and this person that I work with. But, you know, a lot of people, like, put up with her shit because she's, like, somewhat enjoyable to be around. You know, she's funny. I'll give her that. She's really funny, and she's a really good worker. She's one of the best workers I've ever met. But that makes perfect sense because she doesn't have shit going for her aside from her work ethic. You know, she hates being at home. She hates being with her kid, you know? She hates being with her kids. She hates being with her baby daddy. And, I was thinking about how, like, if another person gives in to that sort of, like, dynamic, the power dynamic that a narcissist will establish, then that person's at fault because it's basically enabling them. And I've kind of been doing that. I just don't do it for very long. So it's like if she gets pissed off at me, like, I don't care. Because it's stupid. She's just, like, throwing a temper tantrum over nothing. And then, like, she'll passive-aggressively talk shit about me, like, to other people. So that I can hear it, you know? But she won't just, like, yell at me because she knows that I'm not gonna give a shit. So she'll yell at me. That makes sense, though, because they don't have any boundaries. Narcissists do not have boundaries at all. So they think that the way to address things is the most emotionally immature way possible. I have no problem with confrontation. No problem at all. In fact, there have been so many people that have, like, done exactly that, like what I just described. You know, they're very passive aggressive and they're just immature. Like, this has happened when I've done stand-up comedy. This has happened when I went to school. This has happened in AA meetings, okay? Multiple jobs. My whole family. They're very controlling. So it's like, I'm used to dealing with these types of people. And I have no problem telling somebody that the way they're talking is incorrect. But sometimes I've noticed that it's just better to, like, not even engage, because if engaging means that they get some kind of validation, they get their rocks off by, you know, antagonizing you and you responding in any kind of way, you know, that's not gonna be good for you. Like, this whole time that this chick was just talking shit, you know, I just kept thinking to myself, like, this is why I make these points about how women shouldn't have authority, because, like, they don't know how to handle it. And it's like, there's no point in, like, telling her that she's out of line. Because, you know, when you're trying to talk to an angry person, like, they're not gonna be able to understand because they're too emotional. If you're, like, seeing red, there's a reason why that's the saying, you know? You're not going to be able to see logic and reason at the same time. And that's why women shouldn't be given those kinds of positions, because it's not good for them, and it's definitely not good for any of the people that are under them. You know? And I'm not just speaking for myself, because I've seen her treat other people this way. She treats customers this way, and she's a fucking manager. And I know that customers can be, like, assholes sometimes, but, like, you kind of just have to at least be somewhat professional about it. It's like, she's just so immature. And I know I meow at people, but here's the thing. If I know that people don't like it, I don't do it. If I know that you're uncomfortable, I'm not going to, like, talk to myself around you, you know? But it's like, if you're behaving in such a way and you're making it other people's problem and being antagonistic and, like, verbally abusive and shit like that, I mean, there have been multiple people that have quit because of her. Because she's threatened them. She's threatened to, like, beat them up in the parking lot and shit like that. Like, she's fucking nuts. And like once again, she's a fucking manager. You can't talk to employees like that and like bully people all because you refuse to go to fucking therapy and deal with whatever fucked up shit happened in your childhood. Like, all the people I know that are like healthy people, like empathic people, they all went to therapy. Every single one of them. And they went through a lot of shit when they were young. It seems to me that the more of a narcissist somebody is, the less shit they actually went through, the more they put themselves through and then play the victim about it. And you can just kill yourself, okay? Because nobody would care if you killed yourself. I'm just letting you know. Like, you're a pain in the ass. Like, nobody wants to deal with you. Okay? Anyway. I'm sorry, more text. I obviously want to say these things to her, right? Well, I don't really want her to kill herself. I just want her to go to therapy. But that's what I'm saying. Like, these people will never do what they should do. She's like a functioning alcoholic. And by functioning, I mean like every 3 to 6 months, she'll go off the deep end and do something crazy. The last time that she did, she ended up in the hospital. And she was like, I gotta quit. And then like I knew it was gonna be like 2 weeks maybe. But like I genuinely like care about her. Cause I kind of see her as like my little sister, you know, like my sister in foster care. But you know, since I work with her, I just try to figure out a way to put up with her shit. But it's just something I noticed, like with other people. It's like they don't want to be in her bad side. For understandable reasons, it's not fun. Like, if you gotta work with somebody like that, it's just terrible. That's terrible work environment. To come into that every single day and not know if you're gonna be verbally abused by somebody that's your boss, that's in no position to have any kind of authority because they're too fucking emotional and they lose their temper. And it's like, if it's not me, it's somebody else. You know, somebody's a punching bag. So it's like, why would I be okay with the fact that, oh, I'm her favorite today? I'm glad I'm not the punching bag. I'm glad that it's this sucker over here, you know? Like, that's not right. And I've told her that. I've been honest with her. Like, when she's calmed down, I'm totally honest with her. Like, I say all the stuff that I'm saying to you, I say to her. Aside from the kill yourself part, because I don't really mean that. But that is my sentiment, though. If you're not going to work on yourself, you might as well kill yourself because you're dead, okay? You're a dead person. You're not growing. You're not learning. You're not actually living. You're just doing the same thing over and over and over again. Oh my goodness. What the motherfuck? What are you doing? Hey. Oh, okay. Alright, she's in the garage. It's okay. She's a cat. She couldn't wait to go out there. But, you know, I feel sorry for her. And sometimes I think that's my biggest downfall, is that I feel sorry for these sexist shit. Because, you know, the way that she behaves is not acceptable. The way that a lot of people behave is not acceptable, but, you know, it's like, we just gotta deal with it, right? But I'm just realizing, like, how narcissistic other people are, too. You know? And it's like, just because you don't want to be on somebody's bad side doesn't mean, like, you shouldn't tell them the truth. And I know she definitely wants my seal of approval. What is it? What is it, girlfriend? What is it? Yeah, ma'am. I've noticed that if, like, I'm not talking, it's like she'll, like, you know, kiss my ass and, like, try to suck up to me and shit. But then once I give that to her, it's like she's satisfied, she can move on, you know? Because that's all they want. They want your attention. They want to know that they're in control. Once they've figured that out, like, you gave them what they needed from you, and they're satisfied. And now they're on to the next fucking sap. Go on. Go on. You're annoying me. But yeah, I hate the fact that a lot of the stuff that I could say to her, you know, in the heat of the moment. Like, I hate that I'm, like, too much of an empath to say it. You know, it's like I have too much awareness of just the reality of losing my cool or whatever, and, you know, unloading on somebody. Like, even if she totally deserved it, like, that's not the right line of action, you know? And the thing is, what's so dumb about this bitch is that whatever she was mad about, like, I could have very well understood. But if you're gonna throw a temper tantrum, I don't give a fuck. You know? Like, if that's the way that you behave when you don't get your way, you're like a child. Like, I'm gonna treat you like a child. I'm gonna ignore you. Like, when I see a kid throwing a temper tantrum, I mean, I don't know why parents just, like, give into that shit, but I guess, you know, I guess that's why they beat the shit out of them, right? I don't really agree with that either. But I don't think the society will punish people for acting like that. Like, children are the only ones that are actually punished for acting like that. It really doesn't make sense. Like, you can't hit adults. I mean, I wish we could hit adults the way we hit kids. You know? But anyway. Yeah, just realizing that about my coworkers, though, is kind of depressing. Like, I was just upset. And I don't take it personally. I really don't. Because keep this in mind. The narcissist, all the cluster B people, they have like a bomb inside of their head. And it's just waiting to go off. And so whoever's around is just going to get blamed for that bomb going off. Now, if they went to therapy, they'd realize who put the bomb there, and they'd talk about it. But they're never going to do that because they're entitled. It's just really sad. Because it's like, I had a similar experience growing up. But, you know, I have always been open about being nuts. All to have people try to use that against me and act like they came up with that shit first. And I'm pretty aware of how people see me. Like, it really doesn't matter. I mean, everybody's living in their own little world anyway. So what does it matter, like, what society thinks? What is society? Like, a bunch of people that think they're so important, but, like, are they actually doing anything that matters? Because if you're not being kind to people, if you're not, like, trying to do positive things for the world, then you're kind of a waste of space. You know? You can say what you want about my art, but I know that I'm doing it for the right reason. And I read the Bible, like, pretty much every day. If I miss a day, I definitely make up for it. If there are things I don't understand, I read them until I feel like I understand them. And I ask a lot of questions. There's this chick that drove me home tonight. My car's still in the shop, by the way. This chick, she's like 17. And she said that she's been vaping since she was in the 7th grade. And I was like, why do you vape? Like, do you know why you do that? She was like, that's a really good question. So it's like she's never, like, really thought about it. It's just something that was a fad that she got hooked on. And now she can't imagine not doing it. She even said that she didn't get shit out of it. I'm like, what's the point of being addicted to something you don't even enjoy? Like, there's nothing to it. You know, like, I smoke cigarettes. I smoked a lot of cigarettes. I smoked, like, 2 packs a day. But, like, it did something for me. And I could explain what it did. And not just, like, the nicotine. Because I had no problem giving it up, surprisingly. I mean, well, still got the toothpick. But, I mean, physically, I didn't have the problems that I thought I would. But mentally, obviously, still very much a part of my life. But, like, yeah, I understand, though, like, what it did for me. Like, that, the mental fix, the addiction, the routine of that. Routine is way more of an addiction than actual addiction. You know? Oh, shit. Only 2 minutes left. Well, that's good. I guess I should probably stop talking in 2 minutes. But my hair looks so bad, you guys. I know I look like shit. You don't have to tell me. Somebody's gonna tell me. Somebody's gonna tell me. I think I have a feeling who that person's gonna be. But anyway. Yeah, I just wish people would work on themselves. I mean, if you have a shitty childhood, like, you're gonna take that with you. You know, if there are issues that you have not resolved, anything that reminds you of that is gonna trigger you. It's not up to other people to walk on eggshells around you and cater to you and your bullshit. It's up to you to figure it out. And rather than just avoiding triggers or getting mad at other people, why don't you analyze it? It's like, I don't get it. She already smoked so much pot. It's like, you'd think that she would do some work on herself. But the thing is, she is self-aware, though. I guess we'll see what happens. She still owes me a fuck ton of money, too. So, she picked the worst possible time to pick a fight with me. Yeah, I don't know. If I didn't feel sorry for people, I'd totally tell them off. I'd be such a cunt. But it's like, it doesn't change anything, you know? If it doesn't change anything, there's no point. Like, I want to be effective. And I don't want to just spout off, you know? personal growth. That's the goal, right? But you can't make other people grow. You can plant the seed, you can't make them water it. You can't yell at them. I mean, you can, but they're probably not gonna water the seed all because you yell at them. That's the thing, I've been yelled at my entire life. And it has not affected my behavior at all. In fact, I'm actually more likely to do whatever I'm getting yelled at about